Hi there, this is Mary Kirby with Airline Passenger Experience and the Apex Media Platform, and I'm here at Apex in Long Beach at the Thales booth, and they've got some amazing innovations in their innovation room. I'm going to speak to Christopher Mondragon. Have I got that right?
Very good, very good.
Christopher, I'm going to hand off the mic to you and let you show everybody what Thales is working on for the future.
Great. Well, welcome to our innovation room. One of the key things as part of our innovation team at Thales is really to look at not just about the hardware and the software, but really talk about the passenger experience. So we're trying to look at it from the passenger experience, the crew experience, and the maintenance crew experience as well, so that everybody has a joyful experience in the flight. Today you interface with screens with touchscreen. So one of the key things that we're trying to do is, how do I look at different ways of interacting? A couple of years ago, and we've been showing at the show, is gesture control, which is out on the production area of the booth. And that allows you to actually do free air navigation. But eye tracking is getting a lot more buzz, and so we actually wanted to do eye tracking. So I'm going to show you a little bit demo of that eye tracking feature. So what you're going to see is I am actually navigating this screen with my eyes. And what I end up doing is, you have a GUI on here, so I'm going to go to movies. I'm going to launch that G.I. Joe Retaliation. And I have just launched that show strictly with my eyes, without doing anything else. So what I'm actually going to show you is, we've actually working with a company on their massage controls that are already certified in aircraft. And I'm now going to give you an experience of massage within the seat. So we've integrated the massage controls in our award-winning Touch PMU, flexibility. But it's still not the whole experience. So now I'm going to take it one step further for Mary so she can actually feel the true experience. Mary, if you don't mind putting on these headsets for me. And so I'm going to navigate, and I'm actually going to go to a movie. What's different about this is, with the regular content that's already loaded in an aircraft, I'm taking the audio and that's merging it into the experience itself. So you now have an immersive seat experience. It's visual, you hear it in your ear, and you feel it within your body. So what's your reaction?
Do you think you could bring this to an economy class seat or only a premium?
You know what? It's going to be up to the airline. What's great about this is I'm not manipulating the content. If they decide to put massage controls in an economy seat, I'm utilizing that device to create the experience. And you give the ability to the passenger, so let them decide if they want the immersive experience or not. You give them choices, and it's really all about the choices that we're trying to do. So one of the key things is passengers are carrying their devices, and there's a lot of devices out there. So you have Apple, penetrating the world, but Apple's not the only device out there. There's a lot of micro USB devices, but there's really been no interface that you can actually look at for these devices. There's a new technology called Mobile High Definition Link. This takes through the device that are micro USB and takes the HD output. So if you look at this, I have a micro USB connector to a normal smartphone. I'm actually launching that content from that device to a larger screen. So the story behind this is, I'm going to now create a Smart PIM. So we had our award-winning Smart PIM product that is part of the Top Series Avant. It is modular, so as new technology comes out, I could create new modules and actually integrate that into the aircraft in the future. Our Top Series Avant unit, here's the Smart PIM modules that I was talking about. So where we were before, Top Series Avant was really a revolutionary change in the market, both industrial design, Android features. We're now more in an evolutionary mode. How do I keep pace with technology without redesigning the seat or redesigning the aircraft? Well, the Smart PIM gives us that ability to do that. I can go in there and actually create modules. So one of the big things airlines complain about is people break the pins in their headsets. Well, we now have introduced this magnetic audio jack. It's actually a dual pin and magnetic. So no more broken pins, and an airline can upgrade to this magnetic audio jack. The other thing that really bugged me and why we wanted to go forward with this is, when people turn on their overhead light, it's for your seat, but you really illuminate a whole cabin at night. Well, now we've introduced a tray table light. So you can actually illuminate just your tray table and not the whole entire cabin as a new module as part of the device. The other big challenge that's coming up is credit card technology is changing. So we have magnetic, we're going to chip and pin. Where that all ends up, I'm not sure, but we want to be prepared for it. So near-field communication, or NFC, is becoming a very critical need. Probably the US market is going to abandon the magnetic swipe type approach, and we'll probably go to NFC. Google and other phones are having NFC devices. So what we've introduced is an NFC credit card reader. So what you end up doing is being able to process your transaction and process your order instead of having to use a mag stripe. So what you're going to see is actually I'm working with a large monitor now. So I'm actually going to wake up the monitor. And as before, I can actually navigate very easily. But see, I'm actually pushing. So I can go to movies. I can launch a movie. I can choose the genre. I can navigate. So again, very similar to a tablet. So the player controls, I just launched that movie. Well, now the great part of what we've done is this is velocity gesture. So the movie's actually going to start playing. And I can sit here and move my hands and talk to my neighbor. The flight crew could come and I'm not disrupting anything. But if I actually do a velocity move, I'm bringing the player controls back up. I can pause the movie. I can restart it. And I can go back now to the main menu. So some of the newer stuff that we actually are trying to do is take this camera technology one step further. So I can do that with music. I can actually do an app. So here's a case where I've actually put a magazine in here. Now I've introduced swipe. So we're working on zoom in and zoom out, but now I have the capability to do exactly what you're doing on your touchscreen with this type of device. So some other new features, because we actually have a camera, we can actually take this and do video calls. So if you had a meeting that you had to do on the ground and you had our Thales connectivity product, you'd be able to do a video call down to a board meeting that you may have. The other cool thing that we've done is we look at our My Flight experience. So here's my flight from Los Angeles to New York, but I can see the events that are happening. So if I have beverage service coming up, you know, I can get up before the crew comes in the aisle because I know the position of the plane as part of that. But let's say, you know, I've never been to Vegas and I really want to see what that experience is like before I, you know, I'm flying over it and I can't really see it. Well, now we've introduced street views. And with my hand, I'm navigating. You know, I can look up. I can go over and say, oh, look, there's the Bellagio. Or I can come back and look, oh, there's the Paris. So again, you can do some pre-trip planning. We also are very popular with interactive maps. So typically today you use a mouse control to navigate. Well, now I've created an interactive map. So I can actually go left, right. I can come in and I can zoom in. I can zoom back out. All with the touch of my hand.
Well, I imagine you're as blown away about the innovation in the Thales booth as I am, particularly the velocity gesture control. And in fact, Thales tells me that they are in serious conversations with airlines. So it is ready for prime time. This is Mary Kirby, Long Beach.